Hey guys, it's Sim and this is Pro Wrestling Unlimited as we are here on the 14th of February 2022 to talk about everything that went down tonight on Monday Night Raw, but we're also going to talk about that big news of Stone Cold Steve Austin maybe working WrestleMania this year because, well, being reported by about everybody. Stone Cold Steve Austin maybe back for WrestleMania. We'll get into that a little bit later, but yeah. Big news. They're trying to do things to sell more tickets, and maybe Austin is it. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But with that, I want to say thank you for joining me here. Twitch.tv/PWUnlimited, YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited, and Twitter.com/PWUnlimited. If you are watching on Twitch, you can help us out a couple of different ways. You can help us out either by hitting that donate button down below or by donating Twitch bits in the live chat. Also, remember, you can subscribe to the channel one of two different ways. You can be like Cold Cuts KC recently with a tier 1 subscription. Or if you say, I ain't got that kind of money, but I pay Amazon for Amazon Prime, like Prime Shipping or Prime Video. So, let me use my Amazon Prime, and you can. Take that Amazon Prime account, you take that Twitch account, you link them together, bada bing, bada boom, there you go. Your Prime Gaming. Prime Gaming gives you a lot of cool benefits like free games. I think there's like 8 games up right now. Free stuff for games like Fall Guys, Valorant, New World, Grand Theft Auto Online, and so forth. And the one thing it always gives you is one free subscription to any Twitch channel you want to subscribe to throughout the month. And I greatly appreciate it if you use that subscription right here, Pro Wrestling Unlimited. But also, it doesn't have to be your Amazon account. It could be anybody's Amazon account, whether that's your mother, your father, your brother, your sister, your auntie, your uncle, your dog walker, your babysitter, the one guy that came and fixed the outlet plug in your kitchen yesterday, the girl that helped you find that special brand of orange soda that your kids love at the grocery store. You say, hey, you got Amazon Prime? Oh, you do? Can I take your login? Link it to my Twitch account. Bada bing, bada boom. Support some cool creator on YouTube. Doesn't cost you anything. And maybe in doing so, you guys talk a little about that. You strike up a conversation. You strike up a friendship. You go on a date. And who knows? Married and kids. All because of Amazon Prime and Twitch. But with that on the flip side, if you're watching over on YouTube, you can help us out over there with a super chat or a super sticker donation. Also, remember, you can... Sorry, I got a message on my screen that I don't know why, but it filled up the whole screen and it threw me off. So you can give us a super chat or a super sticker donation. All super chats do get read live on the air. And remember to hit that join button down below to subscribe and get early access to news, early access to podcast episodes, early access to non-news videos, and so much more. Give me one quick second, guys. All right. Sorry, I had to do with the kids. But with that, gives you all that. But if you want to get all that, but more, I guess you could say, directly support us, then head over to patreon.com/PWUnlimited. Also, if I do look distracted for the next couple of minutes, I'm waiting on a text message to come in. I was getting a call that probably had to do with my kids, and so I just had to let them know I can't answer right now. But finally, over to the Epic Game Store. Whether you're trying to get that brand new Rainbow Six Extraction or Sifu, which is amazing, which is actually getting an easy mode soon. If you've been distracted or deterred, and been like, I want to play Sifu, but I've watched others stream it and it looks so hard. Well, they got an easy mode coming. So why not pick that game up on the Epic Game Store? Go over, get Sifu, and when you do, they're going to ask if you have an Epic Creator Code. And you can say, why, yes, I do. It's PWUnlimited. Use the code PWUnlimited to check out on the Epic Game Store. It's right on the left side. Go over there. Yeah, you put in the code PWUnlimited. It doesn't cost you anything extra, but we get a little kickback from the purchase you just made, whether that is a game, a brand new game, an old game, one of the free games. Even do it when you're claiming the free games, or if you're on your PlayStation, your Switch, your Xbox, or your phone, or your tablet, and you're playing Fall Guys, or you're playing Fortnite, whether you're playing Rocket League, They'll also say, got a creator code? And you do. It's PWUnlimited. But with that, guys, I guess we just started off with the big news. We can talk about Raw after, but we started off with the big news. Stone Cold Steve Austin. I'm going to read you the write-up that I did put up right now on, or a little bit earlier, PWUnlimited.co. I will link this in the live chat as well. But I did source a couple different sources that had different news pertaining to this Austin situation. As you can find over on PWUnlimited.co. Coming up on April 2nd and 3rd is WrestleMania 38 from Dallas, Texas. So far, only 2 matches have been officially announced for the show, with other matches being considered but not yet announced. Yet tonight, word got out that, well, WWE is looking to get Stone Cold Steve Austin to possibly wrestle a match at the big show of shows in his home state of Texas. First reported out by Fightful. Now, I want to preface, all day, well, not all day, but like all throughout Raw, Fightful, Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful, Brian Alvarez, WrestleVotes, and I think 1 or 2 others, maybe in PW Insider, were sending out some teases of, oh, is this really happening? Oh my God, some big news is going to drop. Even Brian Alvarez like, you guys better brace yourself. But Fightful was the first one to get their report up and posted. Fightful did report that WWE has made overtures to try and get Austin to work a match at this year's WrestleMania. The Fightful report originally stated that they had not heard of an opponent for Austin, and they in the least wanted him to at least do something physical at WrestleMania. Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling Observer and F4W Online would then go on to report that there is an opponent in the works for Kevin Owens, or for Steve Austin, and that's Kevin Owens. Meltzer reports that WWE has discussed Austin facing Kevin Owens at WrestleMania. Now, last week on Raw, Adam Pearce and Sonya Deville questioned if Owens would have a match at WrestleMania. Owens would then go on to state that it would be a shame that he didn't have a match at Mania because Mania's in Texas. That was the first little hint there. Tonight, he would then cut a promo, dogging, dissing, shitting on the state of Texas. Another little hint for Austin. And, well, what else does Kevin Owens do that's tied to Stone Cold? The stunner. They're literally teasing and possibly pitching. Well, not possibly pitching. They're pitching and possibly doing stunner versus stunner. Now, last week, when they did the whole Kevin Owens may not even have a match at WrestleMania thing, I got a message that said they actually may have a big opponent for Owens. That's all I was told. I said, who? And they said, can't tell you right now. Because it was that not confirmed. It was more of, this person heard something, but didn't want to tell me because they weren't even sure about it. So last week, people were hearing Austin Owens. At least last week. Now, according to Mike Johnson of PW Insider, Mike Johnson actually states that he first heard the name Stone Cold Steve Austin working him, or the phrase Stone Cold Steve Austin working a match at Mania early January. So Mike Johnson says that they've been talking about this since at least early January. So people have been hearing things for the last couple of weeks now. Again, like I said, PW Insider heard rumblings. They didn't hear the Owens name, but they heard Austin in match early January. And last week, I had heard big possible opponent for Kevin Owens at WrestleMania. Him saying that he's not going to have a match is a thing to throw everybody off. And then tonight, everyone started hearing the same thing. Fightful put up their report first. Meltzer then reported Kevin Owens, and we're off to the running. Or we're off to the races, as they say. Well, I don't know. We'll see if it actually does happen, because right now it's just pitches. It's just ideas. It's just, as Fightful said, overtures to try to get Austin. I don't know what steps they've taken to maybe get him cleared. I don't know what steps they've taken to, persuade him more past, would you do it? And I don't know what his thinking is. I don't know what his feeling is. I don't know if he would even want to do it. If he does do it, though, this would be Stone Cold's first match, and I want to say 19 years. Stone Cold Steve Austin, yes, 19 years. Stone Cold Steve Austin has not worked a match since WrestleMania 19, 2003 against The Rock. Now, here's another reason why Kevin Owens is a perfect opponent. Because Kevin Owens is considered very safe. Kevin Owens is so safe that Vince McMahon let him headbutt him in like 2017. The word after that headbutt was, Owens was probably one of the only people that Vince would have let do that because he trusted him to be that safe. So with the company feeling that Owens is very, very safe in the ring, then that's the perfect opponent for someone like a Steve Austin that had to retire because of a career-ending neck injury. Now, yes, we've seen others like Edge come back from career-ending neck injuries and be fine and work with a plethora of different people. But we don't know the severity of Austin's neck still. Again, it's been 19 years. Edge took 7 years off. Austin's been out for 19. But again, I do think that Kevin Owens would be a great opponent for a number of reasons, but also for the whole, he's always been called a safe worker. Also, Magma Lord, no, Daniel Bryan did not have a neck injury. Daniel Bryan had concussion issues that led him to having seizures. Everyone that keeps saying Edge and Daniel Bryan had the same injury, no, they didn't. They didn't. Edge had a career-ending neck injury, and Daniel Bryan had concussion issues that led him to having seizures. But I digress. Kevin Owens, Stone Cold Steve Austin has been discussed, has been pitched, and many think is possible, but again, also it's possible, but highly unlikely all at the same time. So if we do hear anything else regarding a possible Stone Cold Steve Austin match at WrestleMania in Dallas, Texas, I'll have more for you when we find it out. But as we move on to talk about Monday Night Raw, I thought this was a pretty good go-home show. I thought, yeah, any show could be better. But for a go-home show going into the pay-per-view this weekend, not bad. Not bad at all. So the show opens up, and why is my notes in the wrong spot? With Bobby Lashley and MVP entering the ring. Lashley said, the Elimination Chamber has changed lives and shortened careers. But so has he. And then he started to kind of fumble his words. And then towards the end, he was just all kinds of lost, which is very weird for Bobby Lashley. He said that he destroyed everyone put in front of him. MVP said that Lashley only had about a 16% chance of winning the match. But then when you add the almighty Bobby Lashley, that's a 100% chance of winning the match. Seth Rollins would then come out and say that no one in the chamber beat Lashley except for him. Riddle would then come out wearing his toga and was confused by all the math things, saying, I thought the Quiz Bowl was last week. And he said maybe the Quiz Bowl and the Elimination Chamber are one and the same. Riddle then went on with some story before saying that he would win the chamber. And then in 2 weeks, him and Randy would challenge for the tag title. So that confirms in 2 weeks on February 28th, Randy Orton and Riddle RK Bro will challenge the Alpha Academy for the tag titles. Riddle then invited people to the RK Broga party. He said, Bobby, you're looking dapper. I don't want to have to put a toga over that. He then asked Seth to come. He asked AJ Styles to come, who also came out and whatnot. Austin Theory had made his way out there. He said that he was the hands-on favorite and that he couldn't lose because he would be letting down Vince McMahon. AJ Styles says that he knew the odds were in no one's favor, but he was going to do whatever he had to win, and that he's got experience in winning in the chamber, which I don't remember that, but he said he's won before. He said he liked Riddle's toga and agreed that being a double champion sounds really good. He said, tonight I'll win the U.S. title, and then I'll win the chamber on Saturday. Lashley then ran down each guy and was stumbling over his words before saying, I will remain the champion. And then out came Brock Lesnar. He had his coat and cowboy hat on. He placed him on Austin Theory and took the mic from Styles. Theory said, what crap is this? Or something like that. He said something like, what is this? When Austin, or when still on Austin talk, when Brock put the hat on him. Also, if you haven't seen Brock on the Pat McAfee show this morning, you need to go see that. Brock don't give two fucks about anything he says ever. Rock just comes off as like the coolest guy. And then when he ended the interview with Pat, he goes, all right, I'm done. And he threw the microphone and he threw the headphones off of his head to where they got stuck in the rafters in the top of the room. I think he broke the microphone too. Pat's just standing there like, holy cow, what just happened? But anyways, Lashley and Lesnar faced off. Theory tried to attack Lesnar from behind, you dumb idiot. So Lesnar suplexed him. After everyone else backed away, Lesnar laid out Theory with an F5. Lesnar used Theory's phone to take a selfie of the two and then slammed down Theory once more. So yeah, a little hype moment for the Elimination Chamber match. Street Profits were in the back. They're hyping up the card for tonight. They showed a clip of Dolph Ziggler's appearance on NXT last week. We got Street Profits versus the Dirty Dogs with Tommaso Ciampa on commentary. So that leads me to believe they are going forward and trying to set up a Tommaso Ciampa Dolph Ziggler match in NXT. Also, this is when they told us the first hour is commercial free. Would have been cool to tell us that ahead of time. But here's the thing. Last week's commercial free first hour felt long. This week didn't feel quite as long. But we did get a 2 minute, 45-second match. It was Dolph Ziggler, Robert Roode, the Dirty Dogs against the Street Profits. Ziggler fell to the outside, and Ciampa got up to clap for him. He did the whole Ciampa quick clap. Ziggler feigned going for a super kick, and Ciampa flinched. Ciampa responded by chucking water in Ziggler's face. This whole thing was just Ciampa Ziggler. Like, screw Robert Roode, screw the Street Profits. This distraction allowed Angelo Dawkins to give Roode a spine buster. Montez Ford hit him with a frog splash and picked up the victory. Yeah, that was it. Ziggler then would go and knock down Ciampa with a super kick after the match. Street Profits tried attacking Ziggler, and he bailed. Why the hell would the babyfaces go after Ziggler after the match? It makes no sense. Match is over. You're done. Babyfaces, you leave. We go to the back, and we got the RK Baroga party. RK Baroga party. We see people dressed up in togas. Apollo Crews, Commander Aziz, the women's tag team champions, Carmella and Queen Zelina. And Queen Zelina's like, is this a party for me? And Riddle's like, no, it's a celebration for me and Randy. And she says something else. She's got her British accent, and it was just dumb. Riddle wondered where Randy was. And then he led a chant of Broga, Broga, Broga. And then they show Randy watching on a screen in the locker room looking just like this dumb idiot. And then Kevin Patrick interviews him. Which is funny because later Kevin Patrick shows up at the toga party in a toga. Kevin Patrick interviewed Orton and asked, are you going to go to the toga party? And he goes, no, that's not for me. Plus, I got a match tonight with Seth Rollins. Seth is somebody I can't take lightly. I know what Seth Rollins is capable of, and I got to focus on that. He's like, this weekend, just like Riddle, he's going to go into the Elimination Chamber and have a shot at the title. But tonight, he's going to get dealt the three most deadliest letters in all of WWE, sports and entertainment, and that's RKO. We then got a Black History Month video all about Rocky Johnson, narrated by Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Same video we got on SmackDown. They then showed results of a Twitter poll asking if Kevin Owens was lying about his love and the love back for Texas. Last week, 60% of people said yes, he was lying. We then go to a pre-taped promo of Kevin Owens. He figured that he wouldn't be on WrestleMania because he couldn't compete in the chamber. He heard all of the nasty things people of Texas were saying about him and admitted that yes, he was lying last week. He hates the state of Texas more than he hates the people tonight in Indianapolis. And these people were sitting on their thumbs or sitting on their hands with their thumbs up their asses. They weren't responding, no one bit. He said the only plus about missing Mania was not having to wrestle in Dallas. He said if the country was if North America was the human body, Texas would be the ass. He said he doesn't need to go to Dallas with all them rednecks and their southern drawl. I'm like, okay, cool. I lived in Texas. Not everyone's got a Texas accent. I mean, people think I got a Texas accent sometimes, and I'm from California, born and raised. Next up, we get a 4.5 minute match. Are you fucking kidding me? For the U.S. title. It's Damian Priest AJ Styles. This match, I'm not going to say it's a bad match because it wasn't, but it was so underwhelming that I had nothing to write. They had a short match, played off the finish from last week. As Priest came off the ropes, Styles went for the forearm. Priest avoided it and rolled him up for the pinfall victory. Shook hands after the match, and that was it. Are you flippin' frickin' kidding me? I would have loved to see AJ win, but I'm not even mad that AJ lost. This match didn't even go 5 minutes. 4 minutes and 32 seconds is the time I've got here. Are you frickin' kidding me? We get an Alexa Bliss segment. Bliss told the psychiatrist that life was good and she's finally feeling happy. He presented her with a gift: the stuffing and torn up remains of Lily. Bliss no-sold what she had just seen. The psychiatrist said that he had an idea. Then he went to give her a replica of the Lily doll, and then they cut away. Next up, we got a 1-on-2 handicap match. It was Omos against Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin. They're still calling him the Hurt Business. So, Bobby, MVP, they're not the Hurt Business. But Shelton and Cedric, they're the Hurt Business. They ain't hurting nobody. They getting their business hurt. That's what this is. They getting their business hurt. Match went a minute and a half. Omos won after Alexander took a tree slam. They did get a little bit of offense on the big man, not much, and then they got beat. But they still got the Hurt Business music. Bum, ba-da-dum, bump. Bum, bum, ba-da-dum, bump. They still got the Hurt Business gear and the Hurt Business Titantron video. Are you freaking kidding me? So in the back, Reggie and Dana Brooke were having dinner at a restaurant, and Brooke thanked him for being there for her. Also, I think this was the restaurant inside the actual arena. Anyways, Kira and Tamina showed up at the restaurant dressed and disguised, and they put a "to be continued" up on the screen like it was some sort of sitcom or something. We then get Kevin Patrick and the Street Profits joining the toga party. They had a beer pong table set up, and Dawkins drained a ping pong ball shot with no problem. Corey Graves then let us know that WWE continues to influence the world. We then got, speaking of influencing the world, Becky Lynch and Lita in a contract signing. This is all right, I guess. So Becky Lynch entered after Lita was already in and asked Lita not to go through with this match. Lynch said she couldn't sleep all week thinking about having to face her idol, Lita. Lynch said that Lita had nothing left to prove and she should leave now to protect her legacy. Lynch didn't want to fight her, and the only people who wanted to see the fight were these sick fans. She said that, "Don't make me ruin your legacy by beating you. Go out on top. You're a Hall of Famer." Lita said that she wasn't back for one last match. She wants a long run. A run with a title, a championship run. Lita said that Lynch was worried because she showed last week that she still had what it takes to beat her. Like it or not, the match is happening, and Lita signed the contract. Lynch said that Lita was pushing her beyond a point that she'd not be able to come back from. She would do whatever it takes to keep the title and wouldn't hesitate to go after Lita's neck. Lynch said when they remember Lita, they'll remember her with a tear in her eye. Lita then brought up her influence over Lynch's career and said if she had anything to do with Lynch's current state, then maybe she should be the one to put an end to her reign. Lynch chucked the contract across the table like a child, threw a little fit, and left with her head hanging like Charlie Brown usually does. Just walked off. Yeah, it was all right. Oh, I want to say thank you to Nick in the live chat with the 100-bit donations. I haven't watched weekly WWE in probably 4 years, but Dark Sheik helped train Lita for her match, so shout out them. Yeah, trained up there with the Hood Slam people up in Oakland, which is really cool to see. Then we got a gauntlet match where they said the winner would get to come in last in Saturday's Elimination Chamber match. And my first thought was, and this is before we knew Alexa was the sixth competitor. I said, whoever this sixth competitor is, They got fucked. They said, screw you, because you don't even get an opportunity to get a chance to come in last. But the first matchup was Nikki ASH against Rhea Ripley. Nikki was being aggressive, controlled the match for a minute or so, and then Rhea beat her with a Riptide. Not long at all. We then get Rhea Ripley versus Liv Morgan that went about 4 minutes and 10 seconds, 4 minutes, 15 seconds or so. Morgan was in control until Ripley caught her in a standing cloverleaf. Morgan did make it to the ropes, and Ripley wouldn't let go, so Morgan drove her headfirst into the turnbuckle. Ripley then came back with a super kick straight to the throat of Liv Morgan that looked stiff and looked like she got Liv, like she kicked her hard in the throat, it looked like. Like usually you see these super kicks and you're like, oh yeah, I can see the miss. Like I've watched enough wrestling where I can tell that they didn't even come close. But this one looked like that she like choked her with that kick. She hit her with the super kick right into a riptide and picked up the victory. We then had a 4 minute and 50-second match, Rhea Ripley versus Doudrop. He said this is the first time these two have ever wrestled, which I think was also the first time one-on-one we've seen Rhea and Liv. But I mean, that's what they said, so I don't know. It was a pretty good match while it lasted, but it didn't last too long. And Rhea Ripley won again with the Riptide. And then we got Bianca Belair. And it had been 32 minutes at this point that Rhea had been in there. And I must say right now, Rhea Ripley and Bianca Belair are perfect opponents for each other. They are great against one another. Their matches never disappoint. The announcer said that it had been about 32 minutes since the start of this match and Rhea starting off. And they say that. And I'm like, okay, cool. But then later I go back and I go, actually, no, it's more like 15 to 20. It was nowhere close to 32. At the most, it was 20 minutes, but I digress. About 2 minutes into this, they go to commercial. When we come back, they're both jockeying for position. Belair at one point gave Ripley a version of a glam slam and got a 2 off of it. They countered each other's finishers before slapping the heck out of one another. Belair slammed Ripley off the top before Ripley got her knees up on a standing moonsault attempt. Ripley followed with a missile drop kick for a near fall. Belair fought back with a spine buster and a KOD to pick up the victory, so Bianca Belair will get to come in last in the Elimination Chamber match on Saturday. Excuse me. The two would then embrace after the match. And there we go. Again, I love when it's Rhea Ripley versus Bianca Belair one-on-one because these two work perfectly together. Tremendous. Rarely ever mess anything up. It's always so good. Back to the toga party. Riddle was playing a song on guitar, kinda, before he was attacked by Chad Gable and Otis. He chucked some tables aside. I think the beer pong table. They then hit him with the chair, or no, they hit him with the guitar and left him laying. The rest of the partygoers ran away upon seeing Otis and Gable and didn't even try to help. And then going to the third hour where WWE congratulated the Los Angeles Rams on winning the Super Bowl and showed Leonard Floyd wearing a replica WWE belt. Man, they got that belt there quick. I think, and this is just what I would assume, they sent the belt with side plates for both teams and said whatever team wins, put the plates on and give it to them. Because Leonard Floyd had that belt like minutes after they won the Super Bowl last night. He was walking around with that belt all over the place. Back to the restaurant. Truth pretended to be a waiter to try and get it at the title. He run off. She runs into Tamina and Tozawa. She runs back. Reggie then was hiding. He got them all to get out of here. He saves Dana Brooke. And he's like, or no, Dana goes, Reggie, I just have to thank you again for always being here for me. And she's like, and this night has been really good. And Reggie goes, well, I'm glad you feel that way, but I need to ask you something. Can we take this friendship to the next level? And she's just like, well, I don't see you like that. We're just really good friends. And he goes, well, I'm sorry that I got to do this. And he rolls her up and takes the title. Basically, he said, bitch, you don't want to fuck? I'm taking your belt. Been plain and simple. That's what he said. You don't want to fuck? I'm taking your belt. He rolled her up, pinned her, ran off with the title. Concierge then comes up and goes, how will you be paying for your meal today, ma'am? Cash your card. She threw the bill down on the floor and screamed. But I guess that's it. Dana Brooke lost the title. I doubt she gets it back. She ain't beating Reggie for it. Reggie basically said, oh, you don't want to fuck? Give me your belt. I'll beat you for it. I'll take it for you. I'm done defending and being your security. Next up, we have the Alpha Academy versus the Mysterios. Mysterios make their way out to the ring, and then Gable makes Alpha Academy comes out with Gable cutting a promo. Told the crowd to shush, or else he'd put them on academic probation. He figured most of them were already on some sort of probation anyways. Gable said that this was a... Gable then complained about the academic challenge last week, saying that they didn't have to cheat to win. They got cheated out of the win because RK Bro cheated. That he couldn't believe they hired an Irishman with a thicker accent than Otis's neck to host all these competitions and making it hard for them to hear. He also said, who the hell put a question on there about a cartoon? We should be talking about Michelangelo the artist, not Michelangelo the turtle. He also called the Mysterios cheaters and played a clip of Ray helping Dominic beat The Miz last week. Ray and Dominic had no problem celebrating that win, when out would then come Miz and Maurice to join commentary. This was a non-title match, and it was a really good match. He worked over Ray until he avoided Otis and a Vader bomb. Dominic made the hot tag and hit Gable with a Hurricane Rana and a Tornado DDT for a 2. Dominic went for the 3 amigos, got 2 of them, and Gable reversed the third one into a Tiger suplex for a pin. Dominic would then wipe out Otis with a dive, and Ray drove Gable into the barricade with a sliding powerbomb that Gable's neck, against the... This looked like it had to have hurt. Because the way Gable... So he hits the sliding powerbomb, and the way Gable hits barely on the barricade, his neck folded hard. Folded, and then right back into the barricade. After commercial break, Gable actually gained control with suplexes, but Dominic dodged a moonsault and used a schoolboy for a 2. Ray then tagged in and gave Gable a Hurricane Rana and a kick to the head for a 2 of his own. Ray was then momentarily distracted by Miz, and Gable followed up with a German suplex. Ray came back with a Bulldog, but Otis broke up the cover. The Mysterios drove Otis into the post before giving Gable a 619. Miz hopped up on the apron. The Mysterio took him out with a seated senton. This then distracted Dominic long enough, allowing Gable to reverse a flying crossbody into a roll-up with a handful of tights to pick up the victory. So the tag champs do defeat the Mysterios tonight. The Mysterios are in the ring. When Maurice gets in the ring, she started yelling at Ray. When Miz goes after Dominic from behind, throws him out of the ring. Ray then gets slapped across the face by Maurice. Skull-crushing finale from Miz, and then Miz and Maurice walk off. We then get our second Alexa Bliss segment. Psychiatrist that gave her the new Lily doll, and she was dressed in normal clothes. Normal as far as not all black. He said, you need to keep that Lily doll close to you at all times. That will keep you from going back to your bad ways. He said, the old Lily is inside the new Lily. I don't need that, Doc. I'm good. I'm fine. He goes, no. You need to keep that Lily in close proximity to you at all times if you want to stay all right. And she's like, I'll be okay. And she shook his hand. And when she goes to leave, she goes, hold on one second. And she grabbed the thing where it's like the balls. And you pull one ball back and ding, ding, ding. She goes, I've always wanted to do that. And then goes to stand up to shake her hand. After shaking her hand, I don't know why he wouldn't stand up again. She goes, don't stand. And then she made him shake Lily's hand. And then before leaving, she goes, you know what? There's a match this Saturday. It still needs one competitor. What are you guys doing on Saturday? I'm going to be in the Elimination Chamber match. So we do know that Alexa Bliss is the 6th competitor for Elimination Chamber. So we go to our main event. It's Seth Rollins against Randy Orton. They run down the card for the Elimination Chamber, which now includes a new match, Rey Mysterio versus The Miz one-on-one. So this match will be taking place at Elimination Chamber, and I think that now makes 8 matches. 8 matches official for the show. The men's chamber, the women's chamber, the Raw Women's title, the Universal title, tag titles, Ronda and Naomi against Charlotte and Sonya, Falls Count Anywhere, Drew versus Madcap, and Ray versus The Miz. So it's 8 matches total for the show this weekend. I don't expect anything else to be announced. Then we got Seth Rollins versus Randy Orton. They said this was the first time that these two have competed against each other on Monday Night Raw since 2015. Holy crap. I just remember being there at WrestleMania 31 for that amazing match they had, one of the best RKOs of all time. Go for the stomp, get thrown up in the air, RKO. Rollins was in control early until Orton gave him a back suplex on the announce table. Rollins blocked a draping DDT and followed up with a flying knee strike for a suicide dive. After a commercial break, Rollins hit a vertical suplex, but Orton came back with a superplex for a 2. He went back and forth until Rollins hit a sling blade, but Orton countered a curb stomp into a power slam for a 2 of his own. Rollins then followed this up with a super kick, but couldn't make the pin. He only got a 2. Rollins then hit consecutive elbow strikes, but Orton dodged the stomp yet again. He followed this up with a draping DDT and an RKO, but then out would come the Alpha Academy. As Alpha Academy were making their way down to the ring, Riddle ran out to make the save, but then Randy jumps out of the ring to go help Riddle, and they're all fighting, and then finally Randy goes, oh crap, I'm about to be counted out, so he jumps back into the ring, and as he gets into the ring, he gets a stomp. He gets stomped face first. Orton gets pinned, 1, 2, 3. Seth Rollins picks up the victory. That's how the show goes off the air. Rollins, the winner. With that, that's what I thought of tonight's Monday Night Raw. Now it's time to hear what you guys thought of tonight's Monday Night Raw. Remember, you can put a super chat in the live chat on YouTube, or you can text into 510-906-1341. But before that, let's check the texts or the tweets. No. Well, there's a tweet I got to check, but the polls. As far as the Twitch poll does go, 60% on Twitch thought the show was just all right, with 40% liking the show. As far as the Twitter poll does go, %45 liked the show, 40% thought it was just all right, and 13% did not like it. And as we look over here at the YouTube poll, 68% liked the show, 23% thought it was just all right, and 9% did not like the show. And finally, as we pull up the text messages here, let's see what you guys had to say. Text. Says, do you think there's a good chance we see AJ Styles versus Edge at WrestleMania? Why not? That'd be no pun intended, phenomenal match. This person says, who do you think walks out this Sunday? Well, it's like Saturday, WWE champion. I'd put my money on Brock Lesnar. Says, I think Raw did okay tonight. Do you think when Roxy do come to WWE in NXT 2.0, would you like her to be pushed in the NXT Women's Championship match soon? Also, do you see Cameron Grimes going be next North champion? Okay, I can decipher this. Sometimes when people write not great, I can't really decipher much. But so they're saying Roxy. I don't know when she's gonna come in. She was actually on the show last week, technically sitting front row throughout the show. I don't think they should push her to the title right away. No, I don't think anyone, unless you're like an AJ Styles coming in, no one's that big where they should be going for the title right away before they've ever even worked in the company, especially someone as young as her and as inexperienced as her, even though she's already got 7 years in the biz. No, I don't think she should be shot straight to a title shot. Not in the least bit. Because a lot of people are not going to know who she is. Plain and simple. You need to get her wins. You need to establish who she is in NXT, and then she can go for the NXT Women's title. As far as Cameron Grimes, I wouldn't mind seeing him the next North American champion. I just don't think he beats Carmelo Hayes. I don't see it. I want to say thank you to Krill Yangulin for the super sticker. Really do appreciate that. And final text messages here. Did you hear about Josh Alexander's contract? Yes, I did. I will have something up about that here in a little while. But with that, guys, I want to say thank you for joining me here. Twitch.tv/PWUnlimited, YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited, and Twitter.com/PWUnlimited. Guess what, guys? Tomorrow, it's NXT Vengeance Day. And because it's a special edition of NXT, I'm going to be reviewing it. Yep, we're going to review tomorrow's NXT because it's a special edition. I say it all the time. I'll review the pay-per-view-like specials, the now not called takeovers, and the special Tuesday editions of NXT. So we'll be reviewing Vengeance Day tomorrow, and then we'll be reviewing whatever this WrestleMania weekend show is going to be, and anything else in between that's billed as a big special edition of NXT. So tomorrow night, we'll be reviewing NXT. I think this show actually has potential, to be completely honest. But with that, guys, I want to say thank you for joining me here. Twitch.tv/PWUnlimited, YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited, and Twitter.com/PWUnlimited. Have a great rest of your Monday. Have a good night. I'll see you guys next time.